What's up, guys and gals? It's your host of the most, Griever, as always, bringing you guys the latest chapter for Kengan Omega. Kengan Omega, chapter 229, entitled Puppet Master. Now, this spicy chapter. This is one spicy chapter. Why? It's got some of the fan base a little bit, well, blood boiling is a good term or phrase here. Blood boiling, in fact. And not really due to what's happening in the fight, though I did actually have a comment talking about why I might not like this chapter in regards to the actual fight, not the first part of the chapter. And I'm fine with it. We'll get to that point, but I'm absolutely fine with it because it makes total sense in the context of the manga. It makes total sense in the context of the fight, and it's fine. I think this is in reaction to what I said about Hatsumi versus Kaneda. Last chapter when I talked about that, since this sort of goes against that a little bit, but it's understandable, it's explained, and that's fine. I have no problem with it. So if that's not it, what is it that's making the fan base's blood boil, as I said? Well, it's a certain guy named Cure Raian, in fact. Raian Cure. And, well, apparently, about a year ago, he fought against the Westward faction. In particular, Willem and, Gilbert Wu and stuff like that. And they suffered a crushing defeat. Oma's inquiring about it. Have we heard from Raian? I don't know if he's dead or alive, blah, blah, blah. We see that obviously he's not dead. Oma's confident he's not dead and stuff. But apparently he suffered a loss and he was in the fight. We don't get to see anything other than a couple of panels here. But yeah, so what a lot of people are saying, off-screen fight between Gilbert and Raian. Now, I can't think of another manga that did that, recently. So maybe, there's clearly no manga that would ever think about off-screening, a fan-favorite character fight, right? Or even a portion of it, right? There's no way, but we know from these panels, that obviously he fought with a number, it was like army versus army, Wu Clan versus, Westward faction, all this stuff, and they lost. Ryan's clearly still alive, but he suffered heavy losses, and Gilbert and stuff obviously won. Okay, so we get that indication. So we know who won and who lost, and, it was going to be pretty obvious, right? Right? So off-screening it shouldn't matter at all. Yeah, for some reason that argument didn't work on something else. I forget what it was. Anyways, yeah, the reason I'm not upset about this, because I heard a lot of people upset about this, is that they off-screened a Raian fight. And Raian, of course, is a fan-favorite character, like I said. And Gilbert is basically one of our new antagonists, one of our trifecta antagonists, now that Edward's dead and stuff. Well, I guess there's more now, but you got Gilbert, you got Shen, you got... I don't even know if I want to count Yan. I don't know if I really want to count it. Anyway, doesn't matter, but we got Tiger Nico, we got guys, right? We got the six, we got guys here that can all say that they're the top spot for main antagonists, but they're sort of sharing the brunt of that right now. So, fact of the matter is, this happened a year ago. So before the Berserker Bowl, before everything right now, right? So if they were going to show it, we would have seen it a while ago. Cutting away to that now would make no sense. Flashbacking to it when they don't know the details would make no sense. Now, you could make the argument that if he was going to do this, that we should have seen it back then. Before the Berserker, we should have seen this back in the 150s for chapters and etc., etc. Okay. But are you actually going to show Raian lose? And maybe we're once again saving exactly what makes Gilbert different from Edward. We're going to save Willems, because apparently Willems, we've already heard that he's a little different. He's a little different. His makeup, his genetic makeup's a little different. We've had that hinted at least twice in the series. So obviously, I just think we're doing a little bit of cooking. We're doing a little bit of marinating right now. We're showing that, okay, these guys are no joke. They are very powerful. All their fights have been off-screen thus far. Like, I didn't hear anybody complain that Gilbert beat his uncle there or whatever. And that was basically off-screened. I didn't see anybody complaining there. Why are people complaining? Because it's a fan-favorite character. And when you have a fan favorite character like like Raian, and you off-screen any scene, any part of any fight or any scene with him, it usually allows, fans aren't too happy about it, right? But in this particular instance, I think it's fine because of all the reasons I've just explained about the antagonist. But now let's talk about Raian. To see Raian after this long, for him just to lose, and we don't know the details of the loss. That's the key thing. I think that that's purposely kept from us. We don't know if he got, we have no idea. Did he get ganged up on? There's a lot of reasoning here. And as the Cures, the other ones are pointing out here, because of course Oma's there chatting with the other Cures. I think it's Hollis and, what is her name? Juicy. Yeah, anyways, talking to the one that always loves her sniper rifles. And basically saying, that Westward faction, when we go back after them, oh shit, because they've incurred Raian's wrath, and he is going to, that loss, that's just going to fuel the flames of war. That's fueling the flames of fire in Raian. That is not a good idea. You killed John Wick's dog level of bad ideas, right? So I think that's just building up the moment when we get to see Raian back in action after suffering a loss, which we don't know. Did he get jumped? We have no idea. We have no idea the context. Let that simmer for a moment, and let's see him actually win. Because how many other fans would be pissed off seeing him versus Edward 2.0 and losing? Oh, everybody be crying about that. No, this works. Am I happy and saying, yes, it's beautiful writing? No, I'm not saying that. But what I'm saying is, it's an off-screen fight that realistically doesn't matter because nobody important died. If they had said that he killed Willem or something like that, or Gilbert lost an arm in this fight, or Raian, if something like that happened, hell yeah, we need to see that on screen. But, but nobody died, so it was just a skirmish, if anything else. A skirmish where Raian lost. But we're going to see the redeemed Raian going up against Gilbert again, and then, it's probably going to happen, if there's any good writing involved, they'll flash back to what happened in that fight. See what I'm saying? So, let's not judge everything quite yet. Let's cook a little bit here, right? Let's cook a little bit. It's not really an off-screen fight that matters. It doesn't really matter that much because nothing significant changes. Had we not had that information, and we heard that Raian was still we have no idea where Raian is, would it matter why we don't know where Raian is? Would any of the context change? No, the story wouldn't change. The real champion tournament would still happen. They still would have rescued Ryuki. The Worm would still be fighting up against Akira Hongo. Nothing in the story changes whether Raian wins or loses a fight that we didn't actually know about until this chapter. I'm just saying, when things are off screen, it's normally because people want to see it. So that's just you wanted to see it. And once again, I've heard about not seeing things. Apparently that's not a good enough reason to dislike something. But so not seeing it is the real only defense here, is that people love Raian and they want to see him. But had you watched your boy lose to Edward 2.0, fans wouldn't be happy anyways. So you're damned if you do, damned if you don't with this one. It's 6 to 1, half a dozen the other. Realistically, how many other fun little old age little sayings can I use? But yeah, because suffice it to say, if we saw this fight and Raian lost, the fan base would be pissed because Raian lost to Edward 2.0 when he already beat the original Edward. So people would be pissed. Or they'd say he got jumped because we don't know what the situation was, right? So if multiple Cure members attacked him all at once, blah, 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 and he just couldn't fight his way out, or they cheap shotted him, a Kaido Odin situation, something like that, right? Then people would be complaining about that. So you have complaints no matter what if you have Raian lose. If you do what they did in this chapter and off-screen it, which once again, we don't know if it's going to be off-screen technically. We heard about it. We might see it in a flashback, right? We don't know that yet, that technically speaking. So if we see it in a flashback, maybe a different story, once again, but you can still argue that it's off-screen. But now people are mad because of that. So The fans are unhappy either way. If you have Gilbert beating Raian, fans are unhappy. So realistically, doing it this way, damned if you do, damned if you don't. It doesn't really matter if we were going to have Raian lose. Right? So, at least that's the way I'm seeing it. What do you guys think, though? Seriously. Like, I have no problem with it. I mean, is it great writing? No. Am I upset that we didn't get to see more? Yeah, I think they should have shown us more flashback panels. Maybe they got a little more intel and we could see a little bit more of it. But once again, if it's a Raian loss, you know, then, I mean, how much do you want us to suffer? You know what I mean? You know, I don't think many fans of Kengan in general want to see Raian get his ass kicked. I don't think that's not really something anybody wants to see. Wouldn't you rather him come back to kick some ass? I mean, that's what we want to see Raian for. And after we've not seen Raian for so long, I feel like showing him back up on screen just to fucking lose, I think that's almost worse. So realistically, this is actually the lesser of two evils. Right? I mean, at least to me. So, anyways, that happens. Now we jump over to the other part of the chapter, which is Hatsumi versus Kaneda. And some people thought that, as I said, I already got a comment on this, that said, like, I'm going to be ticked because Hatsumi isn't fucking just dog-walking him. Well, technically he does. Right? He technically is dog-walking Kaneda. His pre-initiative is in fact told to us by Koga and stuff, because we already knew about this. I forget what Kuroki called it. Limit something. Hatsumi was already doing a version of pre-initiative that wasn't pre-initiative. Wasn't foresight or anything. It was just, he's that goddamn good. He's that guy. Hatsumi was already able to tell the distance and the inches, the narrow window in which to dodge and stuff. He was already doing that. Now he's added pre-initiative on top of it. So his pre-initiative looks so fucking good. You don't even see the attack phasing through him. The attack stops short. His pre-initiative, as far as we know now, is actually better than anybody's we've seen on screen. That's just a fact. It's stated here in the chapter. So that's just a big trump card up on Hatsumi's stocks right there, as far as I'm concerned. Now, we know about determination prediction, which is what Kaneda was, sparring with Oma about before the beginning of the Berserker Bowl. And we know he actually got a couple of one-ups on Oma. And Oma said, yeah, you win this one. He goes, we got to make that combat ready. He's like, whoa, I ain't got time. And he goes, nah, shit's going down. We got to make that ability combat ready, because that is going to be on the level of pre-initiative, if not better, from Oma himself, saying, yeah, that'll put you on par with a pre-initiative user if we can make this combat ready and stuff. Now, I argued that since he never really fought Hatsumi, he wouldn't be able to do it. But then I started to think, I don't know where that idea came from. He never really fought Oma. He's just seen him fight. So if he's seen Hatsumi fight in the Kengan Annihilation tournament at the very least, so he is familiar with how he does things. And the only reason Hatsumi is caught off guard at all, and Hatsumi's already catching on just as fast as Oma did. Huh? Why am I doing this? Why am I doing that? Given another chapter, Kaneda's still going to lose. I have no doubt in my mind that Kaneda's still going to lose, because if not, that is really strange. We've just acknowledged that Hatsumi is in top form, stronger than ever, and has the best pre-initiative in the series, as far as we know, and he's gonna lose to Kaneda. Nah, it's not happening. Kaneda's stocks are rising with this too. Kaneda's stocks are rising, but so are Hatsumi's stocks. So it's actually a good thing that we're seeing that Hatsumi didn't completely wipe the floor. Regardless of what I said last chapter, this actually does make sense that during the little brief time, Oma said, yeah, no, we need you to get this thing down pat so you can fight on a certain level. So Kaneda's just rising through the ranks is all that's happening, and Hatsumi's staying where you guys thought he was always at, or he's only gotten better. I would argue he's gotten better, and he should be rising up in everybody's tier list, but so should Kaneda. So I got no problem with it. It's awesome because we're giving. It's not favorable technically to one or the other. It's just whether you're a fan of Kaneda, Hatsumi, or both, it's good no matter which way you slice it. It's good. Hatsumi stock's rising, Kaneda stock's rising, both characters get elevated. It's working right now. This chapter works as far as the fight goes. So, anyways, we spoke more at length about the Raian thing, and I had to throw a couple of jabs at certain members of the manga community, but at the end of the day, I have no real problem with the chapter. it's weird that we just randomly hear about Raian. Yeah, but it was also weird that we heard that the Seventh Fang was the obvious choice too. I mean, you know, nobody's really crying over that either, so I don't get why this is so goddamn important. Because I don't want to waste 5 chapters watching Raian lose. I want to see Raian rip some dudes apart like he did Alan Wu. That's the Raian I want to see. Losing to another Edward isn't exactly my, you know, that's not exactly something I wanted to see, you know. So, anyways, I don't know. Sometimes off-screen can work. Off-screen can work for certain situations. Not so much in others. Definitely not so much in others, but it is what it is. But let me know down in the comment section down below what you guys thought of the chapter. I think it's fine. Puppet Master's a good chapter, and I like the fight so far. I'm looking forward to 230. What are you guys thinking? Let me know down in the comment section down below. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And we'll see all you beautiful people back here next time for Kengan 230. Looking forward to it. Know you guys are too. See you next time. Sayonara. Bye-bye. Hasta la vista.